Hey there, it's Nicole Rowe with our Nickson Interiors. Today's question is a good one. It is, can we choose our own contractor when we hire your firm for an interior design project? And like the budgeting questions we've dove into, having your own GC versus using a selected GC from us is a really big deal. There's a few kind of different ways we can go about deciding how that's going to happen. But I'd say the first one is you do have a lot of options. There are a lot of contractors out there. We have worked with dozens of contractors over the years. So let's go with option one. You choose your own contractor. That could be great. And it could be a great future relationship for the Nickson team. And we are not opposed to working with any contractor as long as it's not one we've had a bad experience with. And I would say in the past, there's probably been a few that we would choose not to move forward on a project with. It doesn't mean they're a horrible person. It doesn't mean that they do a really bad job with construction. It just sometimes means that their values or procedures didn't quite align with ours. And that's okay. Contractors, especially locally, are really learning how to work with interior designers and that we are a benefit to them and not a hindrance. So you have your own contractor you want to work with. Our first question is, have you worked with them before? And was it a good experience? And if you say, yes, they built our last house, it was great, or yes, they renovated, our primary suite or our kitchen and it worked really well, then we might dive into some more questions of why did it work well? Do they communicate great? Is their finished quality great? Do you love their subs? And if all of those kind of line up, we would love to have a conversation with that contractor to kind of dive in and be like, hey, we're the designer hired for, say, the primary suite renovation or addition. And, the client really enjoyed working with you. We're really hoping we can make this a partnership, and see how they feel about it. And most contractors really are excited. And if you had a great experience, that's great. Let's do it again. If you're just choosing, as they say, the devil like the experience was okay, but you'd rather work with someone that you know than someone you don't, then that's worth another conversation. We do have a PDF that we email out to clients and potential clients. And if you send us an email or DM, I'll send it to you. But it really dives into how to choose your own contractor. So let's say your neighbor used a contractor for an addition, you toured it, you liked what it looked like, she didn't have too much negative to say about him, so that's who you want to use. Same thing, it could be a great fit. We'd love to have a conversation with them, but it still might not be a right fit for your project. But we aren't against it. It just takes a lot of knowing. I would say when it's a contractor that is not willing to learn and work with a designer, there can be issues where they don't follow the designs that we present that you've approved, or they veer off and do their own thing occasionally. And it requires us to be a lot more present on the job, or it might require you to step in. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's happened a few times where the contractor midway through has decided the designer doesn't matter. He's going to do his own thing. The clients had then had to go to a meeting and explain that, they signed off on the elevations. But it can work great. And some of our best client relationships right now, well, not client relationships, contractor relationships, are from clients that brought a contractor on. So it can totally work. We just have a few extra steps to make sure that the client is happy at the end and we're happy at the end. But option B is we bring on a contractor. Typically with a project, we look at what the scope is. Is it a kitchen? Is it a primary suite? Is it a new build? Is it an addition? Is it a full renovation? Is it historic? Is it commercial? We really go through all these questions and then we look at our trusted A team of trade partners and contractors and are like, who is the right fit? Because each of our contractors aren't the right fit for every project. I wish it was that easy, and I wish, we could just send a group text and be like, hey, who wants this project? But that's not the case. Some do a much better job of the historic homes, which are super tricky and hard. Some do much better when it comes to the ground up. So addition, new build. There's some that know the commercial codes better. And there's some that when it's a smaller project and they self-perform almost everything and the client's living in the home, it makes sense to use them. So there's not, new tradespeople coming in the home every day while the client's making coffee. The benefit to using one of our contractors is that we have the relationship. Some of these contractors, we have 2, 3, 4, maybe more projects going on at once with them, which for you means, I'm talking to that contractor almost every day. And it's not just specifically your project. So it's not like we have to have a meeting just to talk about something, that was discovered. It's we're sitting down weekly and running through all of our projects. We are able to move our trades from A, B, C, D based on, kind of the timing and the relationships with the trades. There might be, 100 tile installers that are local, but not every tile installer kind of meets our quality control. Yes, DIYers can lay tile, but everybody has seen a poor tile job. And we really focus on high quality tile because a lot of times we are using more expensive materials. So if it's a tile installer who's only used to installing 12 by 24, kind of porcelain tiles and has never done a hand poured tile or, a very expensive marble mosaic or doesn't ever miter edges and only ever uses Schluter, that might not be the right tile guy for your job. So even the trades is kind of important. Painters, yes, there's a million painters, but not every painter is going to execute to our level. So yes, we can use your contractor. Yes, we can use our contractor, but either way, I think there needs to be a really specific conversation into the pros and cons of both. We can dive through our PDF, but I would say do not let the stress of choosing a contractor not allow you to move forward with your project. If you're wanting to do a renovation, if you're wanting an addition, if you're contemplating a new build, that like myself and the Nickson team, we have your back and we are literally going to walk you through every step. And if the idea of communicating regularly with a contractor is scary to you, we do some projects that I think the client talks to the contractor less than a dozen times over the course of even a year. You know what I mean? Like it really doesn't have to be scary. And I would also point out my background is construction. My college degree is construction. I love construction. So these contractors know that I know construction, which is good or bad. Again, someone who doesn't know me might get a little intimidated. Someone who's worked with me forever really trusts that I'm able to get what the contractor is saying, back over to the client. So everybody's on the same page. And I think it's really great. But once again, which is best for you? Kind of sit down and really decide what is best for you. What are you most comfortable with? And we can make it work. But thank you for listening to this. If you have any other questions, send us a DM on this, reach out on social media. We're at our Nickson Interiors on everything, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all the things, or shoot us an email at hello@ournicksoninteriors.com. Thank you.